You're supposed to move, it's a moving pitch of mine. So you've done it? Hello and welcome to Hilton Park for today's fixture between the Leigh Message Board team and the Great Britain All-Star Legends here at Hilton Park. It's the final set of league fixtures that are going to be taking place here at the old stadium, and this is a great setting and probably the biggest game in the Message Board team's history. They've been going for 7 years, and to run through their lineup, they line up at 1 Stu Colbert, at 2 Andy Lally, 3 John Hindley, 4 Matt Thomas, 5 Joe Platt, 6 John Dickinson, 7 Paul Wilcott, 8 Johnny Lloyd, 9 Paul Coyle, 10 Cy Reynolds, 11 John Taylor, 12 Alistair Crosby, 13 Gaz Burrows, 14 Dave McCarrick, 15 Paul Norman, and we've got 17 Johnny Simpkin, 18 Keith Thorrimond and 19 Matt Lawton. The Great Britain All-Stars, they were led out by a Leigh legend and a St Helens legend in Tommy Martin. They line up at 1 Graham Steadman, 2 Jason Critchley, 3 Ikram Butt, 4 Richard Smith, 5 Darren Rogers, 6 Tommy Martin as I mentioned, 7 Jason Donoghue, a former Leigh scrum half. Wearing 8, another Leigh legend in Tim Street, he had 3 spells with the club. 9 Kieran Maddox, 10 is John Hamer, 11 Chico Jackson, 12 Andy Kelly and 13 Gary Schofield. The subs for the All-Stars: Barry Edwards, Keith Tyndall, Chris Tassel and Don Robson. And our referee today, making a welcome return to Hilton Park, is Mr Colin Morris, and he must hold the record for having to be escorted off this ground twice by stewards on the opposite side of the pitch because both sets of supporters were baying for his blood. Hopefully there'll be none of that today. And it's going to be the message board team to kick off. Gaz Burrows puts a long start, but it goes out of play on the full, over the head of Richard Smith, so it's going to be a penalty on the halfway line. Tommy Martin to kick forward, and already Colin Morris pointing him back to where the spot is. He says that he's got to take it from exactly where he's marked. As throughout his career, Tommy was always trying to pinch a couple of metres there. In fact, it's a tap which is taken. Tim Street takes it in, hands on to John Hamer. Hamer then plays the ball to Kieran Maddox. He shuffles it to the right. Gary Schofield gets involved there. And that's Andy Kelly, former Dewsbury coach, currently in charge of the Ireland setup. Long pass from Jason Donoghue. Infield it goes. It goes to ground off Tim Street. Kieran Maddox was running up in support, and Simon Reynolds it was who put the tag in on him. And it's going to be a scrum down. This is being played under tag rules, so we're allowed shoulder contact but not much else. This is Colbert. He will play the ball. It was a tackle from Richard Smith, a former Irish international. Now it's fed out to Thomas. It came in there from Darren Rogers, who spent time with Salford in a long distinguished career. He puts a second hit in. Very quick play of the ball. Coyle. He spread all the way across. Leigh trying to stretch the defence. And that was a good run there from John Taylor, brother of Leigh's first team captain. And the kick comes in. It's one to test out Steadman. In fact, they allow it to bounce. So this is a great recovery. And then flicked out the back. Steadman has it covered. And it's a turnover just 10 metres away from the line. Well, many of these players on this All-Stars team will have played on this ground before. Rogers plays the ball back to Steadman, and Steadman picks up, that's Richard Smith. Maddox in at dummy half. He'll spread it out to Chico Jackson. He used to play for Hull and Featherstone. He was named in a Featherstone All-Star team. And now this is Darren Rogers taking that tag. Jason Donoghue spreading it out wide to Schofield, back on the inside. Oh, they're certainly spreading the ball about, and it's been cleaned up now by Kieran Maddox. He feeds it all the way out across, and then it's back on the inside. That was for Ikram Butt, and Ikram Butt, a dual code international, but he makes the mistake there. And instead it's picked up by Andy Lally, who's known as the beast amongst the message board tide. That run taken in by Johnny Lloyd. Quick play the ball to Coyle. He spreads it out. Now this is Alistair Crosby. And Crosby will play it back to Paul Wilcock. Wilcock onto Coyle. He spreads it further out. This is John Dickinson. Dickinson just skirting across the centre of the defence. It was Tim Street who put the hit in. Coyle out to the left hand side. And that's Taylor again. The referee pointed back to where the ball should be played, and Coyle will now put it in the arms of Dickinson. Dickinson running across field, takes that tackle off Jason Donoghue. He had a stint with Leeds during his career, also played for Bradford and had the distinction of playing for both Hull clubs. Mistakes from the Leigh side. It's cleaned up however by Matty Thomas, and the player they know as Riverdance punted it high. It was taken in by Darren Rogers. And now Steadman trying to counter-attack, as he did so often during the 1992 tour for Great Britain against Australia. Rogers now running forward from dummy half, takes it about 30 metres from his own line. Schofield, dummies once, dummies twice, interception. Oh, I'm sure Paul Wilcock will remember that for years. He intercepted Gary Schofield's pass, and now Matty Thomas wanting to play the ball to Joe Platt. Platt will run it forward, straight into the shoulder of Andy Jackson and Andy Kelly and Chico Jackson, I should say. Now this is Gaz Burrows, formerly under-18s player. Oh, he's so close to the try line. He's being forced to play it a couple of metres out. Oh, poor ball there from Coyle. And they moved up quickly. It stopped Matty Thomas. Still Leigh on the attack. Wilcock dribbles the ball through the defence. Oh, and he had to do well there, did Jason Critchley. He had a varied rugby league career with Widnes and Keighley. Ikram Butt onto Tim Street. Tim Street back to Tommy Martin. Now it's Chico Jackson. Now it's Gary Schofield. Now Richard Smith all the way across to Rogers. They've worked that beautifully, and Rogers is away. Has they got the space to get to him? The inside pass went to Smith, but he couldn't hold it, and it's a wet afternoon out there on the pitch at Hilton Park. That was a really good counter-attack. Darren Rogers showing he's lost none of that pace which he had throughout his career. And it's the Leigh supporters team and Paul Wilcock who will feed the scrum. So the All-Stars 30 metres out from the Leigh line. It's Leigh looking to take possession. Wilcock slips it to Colbert. Colbert runs and then falls before he even saw Tim Street coming. After a quick play the ball, and then Coyle slips it to Wilcock. He spreads it out. Oh, lovely ball, but it's been spilled by Andy Lally. And Ikram Butt dropped on it. He used to play for Featherstone Rovers. Now that's Critchley. Lovely work down the blind side. Kieran Maddox to play the ball. Jason Donoghue again. Chico Jackson slipping it to Tim Street. Tim Street, he's spraying passes out like a standoff. Out to Tommy Martin now. He looks back on the inside, takes the tackle. Oh, and then Tim Street drops the ball cold. Street played 249 games for Leigh, spread over 3 spells. And he actually played professionally for Blackpool last season. Leigh put themselves under pressure. Colbert picked up. And then he's put to the floor. John Hindley running forward. Tries to wrestle himself free of Tim Street's tackle. Now it's Reynolds. He plays it back to Coyle. Coyle flicks it out. This is Wilcock again. He puts it through the hands. It went as far as Johnny Lloyd. Coyle. Oh, that was a big hit there coming in from John Hamer. Hamer is a policeman by profession. He should know better than actually putting those sorts of hits in. And the ball going out on the full, so it's turnover ball, and Chico Jackson will play it to Kieran Maddox. Maddox himself is a policeman, and he slips it to John Hamer, who's been involved heavily with Police Rugby League since he retired from the professional game. Now Tim Street goes forward, deep inside the 20-metre line. Maddox links with Tommy Martin. Oh, he tried that little slip pass, and it almost came up for Wilcock. He was coming up out of the line to intercept. Leigh have been playing in a tag league during this season and doing quite well. They currently sit second in that particular table. But it's the All-Stars who will take the attack again. Jason Donoghue, 92 games for the Centurions, slips it to Gary Schofield, a legend of the game, and look at that movement across the back line. Tommy Martin losing the ball. Referee Morris waves play on. That was a contentious call. What a lovely slip pass that was. Oh, and the referee has spotted a tag on Jason Donoghue, which denies him a try. Right, it goes off dummy half. Schofield just tries to drag the defence out to him. Now it's Stedman, heavily involved with the Irish Rugby Union team. Martin. Oh, he was bashed down to the floor. I'm sure Gaz Burrows will remember that tackle for a long time. Hamer slips it out to Chico Jackson. Chico Jackson misses out too, but the pass wasn't a good one. Rogers did well to recover, and he'll play it 10 metres out. Jackson again linking with Street. Street missing a man out. Maddox was so close to the try line then, but Leigh got hands to him. Now Street. He was tackled. They couldn't believe that the referee didn't play on, the supporters amongst us. For a second, Leigh thought they were up the other end of the ground. As it is, Coyle will pass it to his right, uses Johnny Lloyd. Oh, the ball goes loose. That was lots of messing about there. And Leigh have the penalty. Lloyd again takes on Maddox. Now it's played back to Matty Thomas, affectionately known to his playing colleagues as Riverdance. And he'll play it back now to Coyle. Wilcock taking on the line. Hamer was there with the contact. Reynolds slipping it out. This is Dickinson, takes on Tim Street, takes on Andy Kelly. Coyle again. This time slipping it out to John Taylor. Oh, and Taylor is lifted. I'm sure that's not allowed under these rules. It's Still he gets away with it, does Jason Donahue on the ball. He's punted high in the air from Gaz Burrows, collecting it is Steadman. He links with Critchley. And now this is Rogers. He'll play it 30 metres from his own line. Ikram Butt passing to Steadman. Steadman still showing good movement. Gets it as far as the halfway line. Ikram Butt then slipping the ball to Martin. Butt gets it back. Then it's Jackson. Oh, now this is Richard Smith. But that last pass on to Smith was a forward pass. And the Leigh message board team will pack down. Well, there's hand slaps all the way round. Coyle's turned to his pack, says he wants a big effort. Burrows onto Dickinson. He runs across the face of the defence, then takes the tackle from Jason Donahue. He slipped out to Gaz Burrows. He'll hit it up straight and true. Steadman's up within the line. And Leigh take another drive. Only as far as Andy Kelly. Also involving himself was Gary Schofield. A record of appearance maker for Great Britain, Schofield. Still it's Leigh in possession, and Coyle will pass it to his right to use his Dickinson. Dickinson takes on the line. He was so close to making that break past John Hamer. And now Wilcock will put boot on ball. It's a high kick. It's one to test out Steadman. Oh, and Steadman knocks on, much to the jeers of the Leigh crowd. And that's the mistake that Leigh were hunting for. Can they push forward from this position now? Still 0-0 in this Leigh message board versus Great Britain All-Stars. Oh, it's been lost against the feed. And this is Ikram Butt. Was always a strong running player with Featherstone Rovers in his career. This is Maddox, gets it to Street. Schofield puts air on it. This is Smith. Oh, Martin gets it back. Oh, I'm not sure about that pass, but Rogers takes a tumble again as the ball is whipped out to him. And both him and Martin share a joke, and it's going to be a scrum on the halfway line now. Head and feed to Leigh. And the proceeds from this game going towards the Mary Sheridan unit, a valued charity. And also Addis, which helps support those children. Oh, but that's been struck against the feed. Leigh have got it back. Thomas sees the ball ripped out from his grasp by Martin. And Richard Smith now plays the ball back to Maddox. He finds Street. Street drives it to the 40-metre line. Maddox to his left uses Tommy Martin. Revered in these parts is Martin. Helped Leigh gain promotion to the Super League in 2004. Schofield, one of the real legends of the game, finds Donahue back on the inside. It was to Steadman, and Simon Reynolds certainly let him know all about that tackle. Donahue, well collared by the Leigh defence. Infield it comes now to Steadman. Steadman's got an inside option, that's Kieran Maddox, but he'll be forced to play the ball. Leigh could run out of numbers here. The ball punted high. Oh, Richard Smith was diving for it. He used to play for Halifax, but he didn't really get anywhere near the ball on that occasion. It was a case of Matty Thomas and Joe Platt just shepherd him. Attack will take place on the 20. Coyle finds Stu Colbert. Colbert loses his footing. He makes 10 metres and Tommy Martin slows to play the ball down. He was a veteran at doing that during his playing days. Lloyd onto Wilcock. Now it's Reynolds. He takes a couple of steps and then Kieran Maddox drags him to the floor. Maddox is a former Leigh Academy player. Played 5 games for the club in Super League. Oh, it was a lovely slip pass from Paul Wilcock. Now Taylor gets into Wilcock. Little run around move with Burrows. Oh, and he almost broke the defence. Referee Morris points him back to the 40-metre line, and that's where he'll play the ball to Colbert. It's not the best of passes from Colbert, and then it's snatched 1-on-1 by Tommy Martin, but the referee deciding it was turnover anyway. Now Richard Smith taking that first run. Martin finds Maddox. Now it's Street. Street slipping it out to Donahue. He plays it back to Maddox again, who skirts out to the left. Now Martin. Pass master at taking defences on. It's worked out to Schofield, and Schofield drops it. Well, Schofield once scored 4 tries in a test for Great Britain against New Zealand. That was way back in 1985. He turned professional in 1983. And that was a run being taken in by Paul Norman. Now Johnny Lloyd taking it as far as the 30-metre line. Chico Jackson has him watched. Now Wilcock, he loses it. He's cleaned up by Norman, who runs straight into the chest of Chico Jackson. Quick play the ball, however, and Wilcock whizzes it out to Taylor. Taylor takes the run. This game turning into semi-contact really. Oh, that was another high shot from Hamer. Infield it comes to Wilcock, and he punts the ball high. It's one to test out Rogers. Well, just before the game he was putting in his contact lenses, and he certainly came up trumps there. Wide it goes, and this is Andy Lally. I beg your pardon, it's not, it's Jason Critchley. I was looking at the wrong team sheet then. Ball comes back. This is Rogers. Back to Maddox, but Maddox has spilled it. Golden opportunity for Maddox, and Leigh can counter. Johnny Hindley. Well, that was almost fat man speed. They've got a saying amongst the team, have the Lathers message board, that if anybody makes a break, it's fat man speed, and it could be out wide. Oh, but the ball going out of the grips of Joe Platt. And I also noticed that on the field now for the Leigh side is Matt Lawton. He's a big Leigh Genesis fan, and by that we don't mean Phil Collins, we mean the football team. And he actually writes for the local paper for them. Wide it goes to Steadman. Steadman just held it up to Donoghue. Back to Steadman. Oh, that was an athletic challenge there from John Hindley. Jackson out to Akron Butts. Butts done wonders with the British Asian community in helping forge the links with Rugby League. Now it's Donoghue. He looks for options wide. Oh, it's snatched at by Tim Street. It's cleaned up by Leigh. And Kieran Maddox certainly getting himself involved. Good run forward by Leigh. That was Andy Lally, the beast as he's affectionately known amongst his colleagues. Lawton in at dummy half. He wants a quicker play of the ball, and Morris is just looking at him. Now Wilcock. Oh, lovely ball. This is a break on here. Back on the inside. And this is going to be the opening try of the game. What a great ball that was from Crosby. Back on the inside. And Paul Wilcock touches down underneath the posts. It's the message board 4, the All-Stars 0. Oh boy, how Wilcock enjoyed that one. Well, it was a perfect ball out wide to Alistair Crosby, who made all the running for that try. And it's back to the halfway line. Steadman trying to get on with things quickly. And he's found the touchline. Well, what's the referee going to rule now? It's the scrummage with feet to the All-Stars, so they've got an opportunity to get straight back into the proceedings here. Donoghue fed the scrum, finds Martin. Martin trying to open the defence up, inside pass. It was a bit too clever for his teammates, and Donoghue made a right meal of it. Well, he was always one of the great experimental players in the league, was Tommy Martin, during his career. So Wilcock, the try scorer so far, gets it out to Stu Colbert. He took on Richard Smith and has now been told to play the ball. Joe Platt. And the referee blows to bring an end to the game for now. And it's the Leigh message board 4, the Great Britain All-Stars 0. Please join us afterwards. So after a couple of oranges at half time, we're all back out on the field. And away we go. It's a short restart from Stedman. Oh, he didn't quite set his sights right there. Let's hope he's not coaching the Irish kicking team for the rugby union side with that type of kick. It's a good job he's the backs coach. So it's the Leigh side which has the penalty on the halfway line. Lawton wanting to get on with things. Now Paul Norman takes that run. Oh, he enjoyed that, and Tim Street comes up with a real proper old-fashioned tackle. It forces Norman back. And now Lawton. Oh, that was surely a high tackle from Maddox. Well, it just shows that you can't take the competitive edge out of these players altogether. Leigh putting it through the hands. That was a step in Matty Thomas. Oh, lovely play. This is Crosby. He made that initial run for the try in the first half. Good run there. Oh, straight down went Joe Platt. He'll play it 20 metres out from the try line. Wilcock puts boot on ball. But he's put a bit too much meat on that one. And it landed on the terrace in behind. I wonder whether that's his usual spot for standing. But the tap is taken. Oh, and that was quick play, the ball there from Jason Critchley. He had a spell with Castleford Tigers, also played rugby union, and the All-Stars are away. This is Rogers straight through the middle. Oh, it's going to be the equalising score. Rogers racing through from 40 metres. And we're all level here at Hilton Park. It's one score each between the Lathers Message Board team and the Great Britain All-Stars. Leigh wanted to get on with things quickly. Gary Schofield just taking his time getting back. He was lending his support from afar then to that move. He's the player coach of this side. Well, Tommy Martin lets it bounce past him. And Critchley plays it back to Tim Street. Tim Street went to ground quickly. Martin out to the left. Uses Stedman. This is Richard Smith. He used to play for Halifax during his playing days. Smith gets it back. Infield it comes again. That was John Hamer. This is now Kieran Maddox. He slips it to Ikram Butt. 2 caps as a Pakistan Rugby Union international for Ikram Butt. And then Martin. Oh, lovely pass. Missed the man out. And Critchley powering his way down the wing. He's got support. Oh, now that was out of the context of the game. This should be play on. Tim Street racing for it, but he's knocked on and gets it back. Oh, the referee has missed a blatant knock on there as it's fed out wide. Back inside it goes to Donoghue. Donoghue looks for a runner. This is Kieran Maddox, and the All-Stars will hit the front. Maddox finishing off from 25 metres. And that was ever so casually awarded from Colin Morris. He stood his ground and just pointed from where he was, 20 metres out. And the All-Stars in front. The lead line broken. There's a couple of lads out there who couldn't believe the pace of the pass. And Gus Burrows returns to the halfway line. As I mentioned in commentary before, Kieran Maddox now the latest player just to virtually walk over the top of the ball. That's a good restart. Critchley juggles with it. Now this is Andy Kelly. Had a lengthy playing career with Hull Kingston Rovers and Wakefield Trinity. Ended up coaching Wakefield in Super League. Stedman gets it back on the inside. Then it slipped back from Tim Street, but the ball was going forward in the eyes of Colin Morris. And it would be fair to say that in the past, Tim Street and Colin Morris haven't exactly seen eye to eye. Colin sent him off on a number of occasions during his professional career. Now Colbert takes the inside track. Takes that tackle from Andy Kelly. He's wanted a quick play of the ball. Lawton slipping it to the right. Uses Johnny Lloyd. He's like a human battering ram going forward there, Lloyd. Until it comes to Burrows. Burrows. Oh, he hit the chest of Tim Street. It's after a quick play of the ball. Timmy slowing it down. Now Wilcock out to Dickinson. Lovely dummy. Oh, and his little step there really did Andy Kelly. Wilcock taking it to the line. Colbert. He plays it back to Norman. Now Wilcock. Clever little kick through. Oh, and Leigh put numbers on the back of it, but it just had too much again. And Kieran Maddox is wanting to tap, but the ball has gone way past him. Ikram Butt will collect it. And now Critchley. Quick play the ball. Now Rogers. Pacemen getting involved. Maddox has Schofield on his shoulder. The pass misses him and he's picked up by Paul Norman. He was chasing back, but he picked it up. And now Matt Lawton. Forceful running from Lawton. Maddox just slowing that play the ball down. Oh, and then the knock on comes in from Johnny Lloyd. And it's dropped upon by, I think that was Chico Jackson. Now Hamer. Used to play for Bradford during his playing days. Hamer. Maddox misses two men out. Pass a little bit adventurous. Ikram Butt collects it, flicks it back. Surely that tackle was taken place already. Kelly takes that tackle from Taylor. Now Steadman. Oh, lovely footwork from Steadman. And he slipped the ball out, but he's going to be forced to play it back on the 20-metre line. This is Schofield. Nice ball. Oh, then Tommy Martin. He dropped the ball with the line at his mercy. So the All-Stars still leading in this one by 2 scores to 1. And Leigh to hopefully take possession deep inside their own quarter. Wilcott takes it. Then gets it out to Dickinson. He takes that tackle of Donohue's. Now Colbert. Good run up centre field by Colbert. He'll play it 20 metres out. Dickinson. Oh, he sort of scooped that up and passed it in one movement. Old Riverdance working his magic down the right hand side, and Joe Platt taking it forward. Now Wilcock finds Johnny Lloyd. Thomas kicking the ball high. Well, Thomas actually played in a college final for Leigh and Wigan colleges just during the summer. Oh, and that was well taken in by Richard Smith. Now it's Martin. Donohue slipping his pass to Hamer. And Hamer was looking for a speedier Maddox outside him, but the pass wasn't a particularly great one. And with half of this All-Star team having turned their hand to coaches, I'm sure if they looked at things they wouldn't be happy with the completion rates that are going through at the moment. But plenty of enjoyment out there on the field. And Colbert now takes on Andy Kelly. He'll be preparing the Ireland squad after this one to take on the world in the World Cup later in October. Taylor. Now it's out with Dickinson. Oh, he spotted a gap, shoots through it. Oh, he's got pace, and he's away. Can he get in at the corner? No, he's forced into touch. Steadman coming up with a brilliant tackle. Wilcott having words, saying that surely wasn't a tag, but I don't think Steadman could do anything else. And so it's Tommy Martin to feed the scrum, and the All-Stars certainly having a let-off there. Donohue spraying it out to Smith. Oh, the tackle was completed, but Smith advances play another 20 metres. Well, he's wearing a Power Gen shirt, the referee, but he should be wearing a Specsavers one. Now it's Maddox slipping it out to Street. Street plays the ball 40 metres out, on to Donohue. Donohue almost skipped through the defence. Now Maddox. He's got Schofield on his shoulder. Now it's Ikram Butt. Oh, that pass coming off hands. And Tommy Martin sees a try overruled in the corner. So he's going to be forced to bring that ball back. And we've got a second number 10 entering the fray for the All-Stars. Oh, Colbert just makes a meal of it at the back of that scrum. Burrows tried to scoop the ball back, but Colbert wasn't quite in a good position to take that ball. This is Martin, finds Donahue, Martin gets it back, then it's slipped out wide. Oh, they've got an overlap. This will be a try in the corner. Over goes Darren Rogers, his second try of this contest. And the All-Stars now lead by 3 scores to 1. And it was interesting when I was doing my research for this particular game, and on this All-Star side we do have a 65-year-old who is on the bench, and I think he could be the gentleman who's just got onto the field in the number 10 jersey. So Leigh getting the put in. That was a clever kick. Burrows slips it to Colbert. He's in a much better position this time, and he falls to the tackle of Steadman. Steadman loose on his feet. That run was taken in there by Keith Farrimond. Now Dickinson, he'll play it 30 metres out. That's Johnny Lloyd. Dickinson, oh, he did the full 360 and gets it to Lawton. And Lawton driving straight and true. Inside the 20 metre line he goes. Wilcock dabs it forward. Donahue's there. And he somehow managed to take that one in. Now Maddox skipping past Gaz Burrows. This is Critchley. Has Martin outside him, but it goes inside to Street. Street should play that ball and will do to Maddox. Maddox down the right hand side. Oh, it's all palmed back to Steadman. He's looking to see who he can sidestep, and he works his way through the centre field. Ikram Butt back to Gary Schofield, player coach of this Legend side. Oh, the ball bouncing awkwardly for Andy Lally. The Beast just about managing that one. Run being taken in now. Chico Jackson it was with the stop, and the man really wrestling. There's Lally again. Lawton, Scrappy play the ball. Leigh getting on with things, spreading out wide. That's Reynolds injecting himself into the game. Right it goes. Dickinson. Oh, he's nearly through again. Kick goes in over the top, but it goes out on the full, and the All-Stars will take possession. So the All-Stars now leading by 3 tries to 1 in this contest. All proceeds going to 2 good causes in the Mary Sheridan Fund and Addis, which is there to support families. So in at dummy half is Maddox. He slips it to Hamer. Hamer, strong running, like he did throughout his playing days. Maddox again, long ball, goes through the hands of Jackson. Ikram Butty's there to clean up. He'll take that challenge from Andy Lally. Now Critchley. He plays it back. There seems to be some confusion there. This is Ikram Butt. Slips it out to Critchley. He then slips it out. Surely that was a tackle. Oh, this is Martin. Martin, inside pass. Well, that could have gone anywhere and did. Referee waving play on. Hamer. Lovely step. Now Steadman, back to Street. Oh, the tackle was effected. Well, Street was hoping to add to the tally of 35 tries that he scored on this ground. Left it goes. That's Martin. Well, that's a real humdinger of a kick. But it just bounces in front of Jason Critchley and goes out. So Leigh will tap on the 20. Strong run by Norman. Quick play the ball to Lawton. He now slips the ball out. That's Johnny Lloyd. Hamer it was who put the stop on there. Now Reynolds takes on Hamer, plays it back. Infield it comes to Burrows. Gary Schofield sniffing around for the intercept like he did so often in his career. Burrows, nice slip pass out to Johnny Lloyd. He's made it as far as the 40-metre line. Tries to wrestle himself free of Tim Street. Oh, and then Tommy Martin comes in with a hit after the ball had gone. And the All-Stars attack from deep. This is Steadman. Has an option out wide. Doesn't use him. That's an outrageous step. And he's still going Steadman. Now links up. This is Maddox. He'll take that hit off Paul Wilcott. Hamer has Donahue racing up alongside him. Now Schofield takes that tackle off John Taylor. Ikram Butt. Tackle was called. This is Street. Back on the inside. And this will be Tommy Martin going underneath the post. It's a well appreciated try. That player did wonders whilst he was at Leigh. Helped the club gain promotion to Super League. And the All-Stars lead by 4-1. So Leigh get this game underway again. Bounces up to Chico Jackson. And he runs straight at Andy Lally. Tries to go over the top. Schofield, quick ball. That's Street. 5-metre gain there. He might gain a bit more now. Ikram Butt will play it back 40 metres out. Now Martin. Whoa, that looked forward. Maddox is caught anyway. Forward carry on. And that was a deliberate push, but he's got away with it. Little chip over the top from Schofield. Oh, and it lands fortunately for the Leigh side, and then Chico Jackson reels him in. He was always a beast during his playing days. That's Lally. Now Dickinson trying to hunt the gap, but he's only succeeded in finding the chest of Hamer. Reynolds. Oh, he's playing a low furrow with Simon Reynolds. Referee tells him to play the ball. Burrows slipping it further wide. But we seem to be on half contact now. Burrows. That's a good kick, a long kick. There's nobody at home. Colbert's really chasing after that one. Steadman will beat them all to it. Oh, but that's all that we've got time for in this game, and the All-Stars have won in this one. It's been played in excellent spirit by 4-1.
The charity, yeah.
And of course all this being done in aid of two charities, the Mary Sheridan unit and also the Addis, which helps support families. So it looks like we're actually playing on in this game. Away we go for another period of play. Kick comes in from Gaz Burrows to start us off. Oh, it's a clever kick. Leigh first on it. He's tried to dribble forward. And was that a knock on over on that far side from Critchley? Well, again, this game raising funds this afternoon for the Mary Sheridan unit. and also ADIS, which is attention deficiency, and the support of the families who are affected by that. I noticed that Paul Coyle's back on the field for the Leigh message board team. Wilcock slips his pass out to Colbert. He takes that good contact from Richard Smith. Burrows, slip pass out to Dave McCarrick. Coyle, oh, he just seemed to slip as he tried to take that in, and it was taken in instead by Tim Street. Johnny Simpkin also involved there in that tackle. He's the player coach of the Slathers message board team, Chico Jackson. Still a formidable sight running at you, as is this fella John Hamer. Maddox to his right uses Critchley, who tries to put on the speed. Takes that hit from John Hindley. Now Smith. Good challenge there from Taylor. Ball back now with Schofield. He kicks his way forward. He's played on that left hand side by Lally. He's got quite a bit of work to do. Does it well. He's back in the field of play. And ran straight to the chest of John Hamer. Message board make another 10 metres there. He's wanted a quick play of the ball, but Coyle gets it to Norman, who juggles with it. And then takes that hit from Tim Street. Coyle again, onto Wilcock. Dummies once. Then puts it further wide to McCarrick. Nicknamed Wellens by his teammates because earlier in the season he had curly hair, much like the St Helens fullback. Outrageous dummy there from Simpkin. Punts the ball long. Rogers allows it to bounce. It's raining quite heavily here at Hilton Park now. Oh, that's great running from Chris Tassel, who used to play for the Salford City Reds, a Welsh international, also played for North Queensland and Swinton during his career. Martin taking that latest hit. Hamer slips it out to Street. Street looks left, look right, doesn't really release the ball. Simpkin gets him. Now Donahue finds himself in half a hole. Now he plays it back. Rogers switches it back to Tommy Martin. Clever angled running. That's Tim Street. He slips it further back. They'll have to play the ball. This is Rogers. He flicks it over his head. Oh, and then Maddox spills it with the line at his mercy. And it remains 4 scores to 1. To Simpkin. Plays the ball 10 metres out. Norman runs it forward. Coyle finds Taylor. Taylor goes without the ball. Referee says play on. Coyle, dummies left, dummies right, then takes the challenge. Simpkin onto Wilcock. He looks for an option. Nobody really came to him. And he'll now play it back. This is Hindley. Takes on Donahue, who wrestles him to the floor and turns him on his back. It'll be a slower play of the ball. Coyle out to Wilcock. Now Norman. Now Burrows. That was a lovely ball. Slight further wide. Running the tightrope there was Keith Barrymond. McCarrick in at dummy half. Onto Burrows. He angles his kick for winger Critchley. And he took it in just 10 metres out from his own line. He's allowed to pick up and run in centre field. He's still going. Eventually he stopped 35 metres from his own line. Maddox slips it to Schofield. Now Martin. Now Hamer. And he goes and takes a tumble 40 metres out. Martin. Dummies left. Cuts right. Now Schofield. Ambitious pass out to Rogers. Now it's Street. Oh, lovely flip ball. Now Steadman's away. And Steadman will score the opening try in this period. It's now 5 scores to 1. So the Leigh supporters team traipse their way back to the halfway line. Cheekily Maddox took the ball with him. Burrows buries his kick well, it bounces up. This is Hamer in the centre field for the All-Stars. Slips it out to Steadman. Steadman, ambitious pass out wide. Rogers in space. Oh, he was being held up in back play was Tim Street, but he takes that pass and then Norman gets him. Well, he was chasing back and also adding his weight to the challenge. Matty Thomas, he's holding on to him. He's really slowed it down. He's allowed all these players to get back on side. And Maddox, lovely pass over the top. Now Martin, he's well held. Jackson, well, he tried to dummy his way through the defence then. This is Donahue. He'll play it 10 metres out. Maddox onto Martin, back on the inside. Oh, and he's just held up short. Ball back to Gary Schofield, and Schofield drops the goal from in front. So we've now got 5 tries and a drop goal, plays 1 try. Gary, ever the professional, just really rubbing it into this Leigh supporters team. They've certainly given their all in this game. Burrows in this familiar position of trying to get the game underway again. He keeps going for these short restarts. And back in field it will come to Tommy Martin. He points where the defender is, then puts Rogers into a hole. Now Chico Jackson slips it to Chris Tassel. Tassel, bit of open field in front of him just for a second. Actually gets tagged twice there. Now Martin. He slips it to Street. Street just passed it on, said here Tassel, have a run. Now Maddox slips out to Jackson. Donahue. Back in field. Chico Jackson chose to stick hold. Had Gaz Burrows all around him. Right it goes off to play the ball. Oh, lovely slip pass. It's slick handling. And Critchley scores in the corner, does he? Yes, he does. So it's now 6 tries and a drop goal to 1. So although the Leigh supporters team could be heading for defeat this afternoon, the memories will live forever. And Paul Wilcock, I'm sure, will remember this try that he scored and the ball that he originally put out for Alistair Crosby. Burrows this time goes long with his restart. Steadman's underneath it. He slips the ball out to Andy Kelly. Now it's Steadman again. Out to Richard Smith. Good tackling there from the Leigh side. That was John Hindley. Now this is Martin again. He's after a quick play the ball. Donahue's there. Now it's Maddox. Dummies to his right. Then takes on Reynolds. This is Street now. Oh, lovely slip ball. This is Martin. Stopped just 25 metres out from the try line. Maddox finds Schofield. He goes to the right again. Lovely quick move from Maddox. And he takes the return pass off Andy Kelly to finish off with a try. So 7 tries and a drop goal. Plays 1 try on the Leigh side. The All-Stars showing their class in this third period of play. So Burrows gets us underway again. Oh, that's a great kick. What a clever restart that was. And it will force the All-Stars to drop out from underneath the posts. A couple of Leigh players just traipsing in the backfield. And a quick word with Tommy Martin, and Martin, they've certainly put him off because he's put that one into touch. So Matty Thomas, he retrieves the ball, kicks it back, and we'll have a penalty. Just 10 metres out. Is there a chance here for a second Leigh try? Coyle will tap, finds Wilcock. Wilcock, oh lovely dummy, and through he goes. That's the second try of the game for Paul Wilcock. He's certainly impressed against these legends this afternoon. So it's 7 tries and a drop goal, plays 2 tries. Well, that was a cheeky restart and it's come up for the All-Stars. Street slips it to Maddox. Street then takes a tumble and Maddox is forced to take that tackle. Schofield out to Martin. Now that's Maddox. Quick play the ball. Martin's there again. He tried to run away from the defence, but Dickinson watched him all the way. Maddox to his right, uses Schofield. He slips it to Tim Street. The Leigh defence watched him again. Real legend in these parts, Tim Street. That's a good kick. Oh, and Tassel, it just went in front of him. And the former Welsh international couldn't quite ground that one. Coyle, outrageous dummy, and that was Colbert. He plays it back to Coyle again. Opportunity here for the Leigh side. The Leigh player opting to run straight at Timmy Street. Well, not many players have had much change from that during Timmy's career. Certainly some good skill on show this afternoon though. Ball will come Leigh again, up as far as the halfway line. Richard Smith it was with that tackle. Orton now. Oh, Wilcock. Low kick, it was one for Thomas. And then Thomas chased through and dragged Steadman to the floor. Rogers is at dummy half. Has Martin in support, doesn't use him. And the ball being ripped out by Dickinson. Referee says play on. Street. Well, he still looks fit enough for a full game, does Street. Now Donahue. Scurrying over the halfway line. Took on Simon Reynolds. Schofield, lovely flick pass. Back now with Maddox. Now Smith. 2 defenders attracted to him. Martin. Whoa, that's going to come down with snow on it. Certainly one to test out Colbert. Colbert's allowed it to bounce. Oh, what a fantastic try. Martin chasing through to put the finishing touches on his own kick. He rolled back the clock with that one. So it's now 8 tries and a drop goal to 2 tries from the Leigh side.
Run re-entry.
So the Leigh side wanting to get this play back underway. It's only kicked as far as Rogers. Rogers running cross field. Tries to link with Kelly, but it's only gone to Leigh hands. John Taylor it was. Going through to pick up. Now Lawton. Lally. That's Thomas. Coyle again. This is Johnny Lloyd. Coyle to his right. Uses Simpkin, the player coach. Driving at the heart of the All-Star defence. Coyle, all the way back to Gaz Burrows, and he says, anything you can do, Gary Schofield? I didn't quite manage it. So we're going to have a tap on the 20 metre line. The All-Stars in possession. Maddox taps, and this is John Hamer. He was virtually running forward on one leg there, was Hamer. Now Donahue. Remember a couple of times when he scored 70 metre tries, and he doesn't look quite to have that range in him these days, but the All-Stars still on the attack. Chico Jackson back on the inside, it falls to Leigh hands. Lovely flip pass from Gaz Burrows. Simpkin tries to inspire something wide out, and it goes as far as Joe Platt, and he took on Darren Rogers. Keith Farrimond takes another drive. Simpkin finds Matt Lawton. The tackle is affected. Leigh just over the halfway line. Coyle. Oh, and then Wilcock comes up with one of few mistakes to his game this afternoon. He scored 2 tries for the Leigh side this afternoon, so he can pick his head up. Oh, what actually happened there? It's come up for Leigh. I think Tim Street was trying to play scrum half there. That probably tells you why he's stuck to sticking in the front row during his playing days. That's Joe Platt. Wilcock at dummy half. Tim Street deliberately slowing down the play of the ball. Oh, that was well dragged in by McCarrick. He disappeared underneath that challenge of Chico Jackson. Now Johnny Lloyd. Lloyd wrestles his arms free, plays it. Wilcock kicking forward. He goes through the arms of Richard Smith. Oh, it's been hacked on. Leigh couldn't quite drop on it. And the whistle goes. And it's the All-Stars who lead in this one by 8 tries to 2. There's a drop goal also from Gary Schofield. We think that's it here at Hilton Park. Well, what a game. The old stages really showing that they've still got it in them, but there's certainly some young pretenders coming through from the Leigh Message Board team. And remember, all this has been in aid of 2 charities today, the Mary Sheridan unit, which will benefit from the bucket collection going around the ground, and also the Addis for the attention deficiency and the support of those families who suffer from that. So here at Hilton Park, it's a farewell for now, and the Leigh supporters team have lost to the Great Britain All-Stars by 8 tries and a drop goal to 2 tries.
Gary Conley, Jason Critchley, Tommy Martin, Derek Fox, Wayne Jackson, Richard Dunn, Tim Street, Chico Jackson, Andy Kelly, Gary Divinity, Brad Edney, Jamie Bloom, Jason Donahue, Chris Castle, Hugh Tyndall, John Hamer, Barry Edwards, Ches Hartley, Donald Robinson, a round of applause for all teams, please, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.